Hola Bafeto, welcome back. Welcome to Dibalene Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective. Yeah, we're doing a review. Golden Arrows 0, Kaizer Chiefs 1. We win yet another game, yet another clean sheet, and we're still second in the log, 13 points behind Sekhukhune. But we have not considered a goal since we have started, and I think we're starting very well, very nicely. This team is coming very well. I remember when they were making jokes about Kaizer Chiefs that I'm a player, Kibela Paseka, and all those things when we're in the pre-season preparations in Netherlands. And now we can see the good work that has been done then. We can see how players are gelling. We can see how there's an improvement. So the game, I watched it while I was on the road. I had to stop, get bits and pieces of the game. But yeah, it was a very good game. I think in that game, Kaizer Chiefs started very well. I mean, from the first minute up until minute number 35, Kaizer Chiefs had a lot of chances. With a clear-cut chance of Ashley Dupree, that I think, yeah, he was followed by a player. He was a bit disrupted, but I think if we had a clever, much more, calmer, clever, matured, and confident player, would have done something, whether the attempt at goal or trying to take on the player or trying to invite other players to come through. Would have dealt with it different, but Ashley Dupree right now is not a player that we are used to. We know and how he has been playing, that we took from Stellenbosch, and the same player that we also had in some moments as Kaizer Chiefs. He's not. I think he's lacking in confidence, makes a lot of hasty decisions, and it's just not that player right now. But I do appreciate that the coaches are trying to bring him in and try to give him minutes. Also, good attempt from Munyane. The first attempt, when he had taken a shot and then deflected, but was then blocked by the player. But the keeper then was lost. Would have been a goal that. And then the cut back by Munyane, cleared by Kenan Phillips. If we had players that are of present mind in front, if we had goal poachers, players that can anticipate where the ball would be, that would have been an easy tap in, but even that we lost. And then we had another chance, I think, Glody Lilepo, when he chipped and killed the ball just over the post. That was also a good opportunity. And then other opportunities from Shabalala as well, that I think if he does well in terms of his finishing, in terms of his last, like I'm repeating myself in this, in terms of his finishing, his last, participation in the play, there we have a very good player. But yeah, we had those chances. But also Arrows, after the 25th minute, I think they came back, they gained their confidence, they played well. Also into the second half, had a lot of chances that I think the goalkeeper came to party. The defenders of Kaizer Chiefs, Miguel, Munyane, Zita Kunika, and Mako, who got the man of the match, I think, which he deservedly so got the man of the match. I think they came to party. Whenever they were called to action, whenever they were supposed to defend, whenever they were supposed to work for the team, they did very well. And that's credit to them. Peterson, the entire defense collective, we have currently the clean sheets that we have because of them. And I think that's very solid work. That's something we can build on. But overall, I think in the second half, one thing that I want to speak about, there are three things that I want to speak about. First, the goal that we had. Secondly, the position of Glody Lilepo. And thirdly, my verdict on Mthethwa. The first thing that I want to highlight is the goal by Glody Lilepo. I think it's a very good. It's a goal by Da Silva, Flavio Da Silva, which is a very good goal, created from from the bench through the substitutes is one thing that we must always do, is to appreciate when the coaches are making changes, and those changes make a difference in the game. And that is credit to the tactical work, the analysis on the bench, you know, the work that is done by the technical team to say this is the right time. I mean, around the 65th, 67th minutes, they introduced Vilakazi, Flavio Da Silva, they introduced Serino, and those three are involved in the goal. So credit to them. I mean, it's a very good pass from Mfundo Vilakazi to see Serino, to see his run, and then to, you know, initiate that defense splitting pass, and then the cut back from Serino, and the finish from Flavio Da Silva. I think that's very, very good. So out of that goal, really, I want to say that Mfundo Vilakazi is a number 10 and must be seen as a number 10. He's not a winger, and his competition is Mthethwa, Shabalala, and Castan Serino, and they can be played together, I mean, but that player is not a winger. He's a player that must be found centrally, can take the shots. He's not, doesn't have the structure, doesn't have the pace to be a winger, but he has the intelligence to play as a number 10. And yesterday he played very well. And second thing is that Castan Serino as well, he's old right now, that guy, but he knows how to preserve and use his energy. I mean, when it's time to run, he runs. When it's time to protect the ball and provoke that kind of action from the offensive, from the opponents, such that he's fouled, he's able to do that. He's able to draw in fouls. But when it's time to make the runs and use his energy, he uses that energy, arrives in the box, either he scores. Yesterday he used his energy, made that run, cut in the ball, and then Flavio Da Silva was able to finish. And the last thing about the goal is that, you know, I've said in the preview of this game that we need to see our strikers. We really need to see the creativity. I predict 3-1. I think the chances were there for us to finish with a very, 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 you know, high score than we have right now. But yeah, the guy gets his cameo. He finishes properly in the box, decisively, and he scores a goal for Kaizer Chiefs. He celebrates, obviously. You know, it's an emotional moment for him. But I think, while it's still too early to judge him, but that is a good performance, good coming in, good first debut for the team, and I hope that he improves from that. The second thing that I think we need to speak about is the fact that Glody Lilepo's position is right wing. It is not. You can come in, Shem. I'll have to cut. I'll have to cut. I'll cut some. No, you are far. Come in. Oh, I'll have to pay those things. Cora. So the second thing I want to speak about is that Glody Lilepo is not a right winger, is a left winger. And I think we're wasting a lot of his potential by playing him wide, playing him as a left winger. Then he has to cross the ball. He's probably the tallest player in Kaizer Chiefs right now. And then after crossing the ball, there's no player at the end, you know, to finish up the crosses to compete on air. I think he must be played as a player that cuts in and then makes those shots. He's the one that has, I think, currently highest, you know, attempts on goal for Kaizer Chiefs. And always is when he cuts in and then he makes that shot, cuts in, sometimes he can pass. And that is what has worked for us last season, and that's what he must do going forward. I don't think it is right to continue playing him as a right winger. I think it limits Kaizer Chiefs' attack so much. That must be improved. So the last thing that I want to speak about is my verdict on Mthethwa. Really, Ox plays very well for Kaizer Chiefs currently. I think the past two games, game against Mamelodi Sundowns and the game against the one against Golden Arrows, he was very impactful in the game, very influential. But I personally have a problem with a player of his caliber. I think there's a huge part of him that doesn't contribute to Kaizer Chiefs. In that when we have the ball, which is something that happens most of the time. So I can accept the fact that he plays, when we're playing against Mamelodi Sundowns, is the player that can assist us, the player that can break the play. When we play probably against Orlando Pirates, is the player that can always be there for us in terms of the opponents that may have, higher ball position than us. But when Kaizer Chiefs has the ball position, that guy does not assist. I don't want to lie. I don't think he's the right one for us. Currently, the modern defensive midfielder is one that can defend, that can break up play, that is aggressive, but still when we have the ball is able to be useful with it. I've seen against Mamelodi Sundowns, against Golden Arrows, loses a lot of balls, can't pass forward, can't really progress us when we have the ball. And I am very worried about that. I don't think that is a sustainable, way of playing for Kaizer Chiefs. But if it works right now, it is fine. Am I saying that fans must boo him when he has the ball? No. Am I saying that fans must show dissatisfaction when the coaches are playing him? No. But I'm arguing that this season is a season for us to support players of Kaizer Chiefs, to be supporters, to play the supporting role. Therefore, we must chant for him, we must encourage him, must encourage the technical team when they play him, and we must be there for the entire team. But nevertheless, I'm not impressed with this game. Really not impressed with how he plays. I don't think that is a way a Kaizer Chiefs team should play. And I know it's uncomfortable to say that when the team is playing, is getting the points, is doing well, we have the protection at the back, we have the clean sheets, and everyone thinks, no, you can't start criticizing now. I'm just saying that is not a sustainable way of doing things. The teams who are playing right now, they're confident, they think they can play against Kaizer Chiefs. There will come a time where teams will start, being very conservative. Will wait for us, will sit at the back, and we're going to require players that can really be creative, can make those passes, can progress the ball as quickly as possible. And I don't think Mthethwa will be relevant. But we support him. I'm happy for the points. Let me hear your review of the game. Let me hear your views on the game. Next week we are playing, the next game we are playing Sekhukhune, the team that is very stubborn, that shows that they are serious competing team in this Betway Premiership. They are very determined. They are number one on the log, equal points with Kaizer Chiefs, but I think the baze ngenyinto. So I'm hoping that Kaizer Chiefs will deliver. We're playing in FNB. We'll be there. Some of us will be there to support the team, and I hope that fans will be there to support the team. And I hope that we can prove ourselves against Sekhukhune. We did against Mamelodi Sundowns. We need to do it against Sekhukhune. Otherwise, from me, Dibalin Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective, I sign out.